Hello, Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts, and welcome to today's virtual card and a cuppa. A little bit different today. I'm away for the week, so what I've done is I have pre-recorded this so that those of you not able to go to the in-person event on Wednesday will still be able to see the cards, and I will still be making a fourth card for you guys to see, but the guys in the morning will already have seen it because of all the time differences and things like that. But anyway, so this is the kit for this week, and I'll just roughly and quickly go through it. So we have the usual envelope, which there seems to be other pieces still in there. I think these are more than I actually need, but it's just spare bits. So we have our envelope. We have a piece of Gray Granite cardstock, which has been cut in half. So it was A4. So this measures 10.5 by 29.7, and it's been scored at 14.9 to give us a landscape card. We have our piece of basic white to go inside. We have a piece of Starry Sky, which is one of the new in colours, card to go on the top. And then also a piece of Sunprints double-sided paper. So it's 12 by 12 paper, which I've cut up. So we have these images on one side. So it's like I don't know what the plant is actually. I was going to say ferns, but it's not. It's a bit more delicate than that. So these are the ferns. So anyway, it's grasses and ferns and other bits and pieces. So on one side, so it's basically a starry sky, and then on the other side it's Gray Granite, and that's the side that I'm going to use. We have a piece to go on the inside, of course, so we can decorate the inside. And then there are various die cuts. Now all of these die cuts come from the Nature's Prints dies, and I'll show you those quickly. So there is a little wreath which I've die cut from Starry Sky. We have some fronds, different sorts. So we should have three of one sort and 2 of another sort, and then we have a label. So the dies that I've used actually coordinate with the stamp set. So this is the stamp set. I'm trying to get things in so you can actually see. And then these are the dies. So there are 11 dies. Bit of a mishmash in here because I had them loose and not been able to stick them all back. Sometimes I think this is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle trying to put all these back in. Someone suggested that if you take a photograph, then you'll always know how to do it, but I always forget. Anyway, so that's the wreath. That's the label. And then there are various dies here that you can use to simply cut out shapes from cardstock, or you can of course use them to cut out the actual images themselves. So I mean, this one for example will go with that. I'm not going to bother to put this on top of that because this is shown at 90%. There's a little thing here that says 90%, so if I put it on top now, it's just not going to fit. So we have one for this. We have one for this cute little flower. We have one for the fern, and we have one for this twigs and things. It almost looks like flowers on there. I think they're just buds and things. And then obviously some nice sentiments to go with it. So we've got hello, heartfelt thank you, best wishes and happy thoughts, and you're on my mind. So a really nice set. It's a whole suite in the catalogue, but of course you can buy it as the suite, or you can buy it as a bundle, or you can just buy items individually. It's really up to you. Don't need those, put those to one side. So that's the kit for today. And I will share with you the cards that have already been made. So I've already got 3 cards. So as you can see, I've used the envelopes and decorated them, and these are in no particular order, just so you know. So we have this particular one where I've simply glued the paper to the cardstock, and then that's got some dimensionals underneath, have glued the wreath on, and then I've just tucked the other coloured. So we've got the wreath, which is in Starry Sky, and then these little fronds that are in Gray Granite. Stamped a sentiment. Now this, I actually wanted a happy birthday, so this actually comes from the Peaceful Moment stamp set, which is a good one that has lots of different sentiments in. So, excuse me, I've used this happy birthday here. Oh dear, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. So I stamped that in the centre, and then I just simply added that with some more dimensionals and a rhinestone left and right. So this is quite fussy when it comes to putting it on, so you don't need a lot of glue. And then these, because one end is tucked underneath, I've just used glue dots to fix the other ends. It just seemed to be a lot simpler to do it that way. And then I stamped the inside, so we've got the Gray Granite splodge, and we've got a Starry Sky flower, which matches with the that particular one. So this, just so you know and can see the difference, this is the Gray Granite without stamping off. So that was just a full-blooded donk. And then this one I stamped off first. So I used a bit of scrap paper, stamped on there, and then stamped on there. So it's the same colour, it's just a much lighter shade. So that you can see more of the image rather than it sort of taking over. So, but you can obviously stamp first generation, second generation, whatever. It's really up to you. So this is another one. So this is the second one. So again, I've used the whole wreath. So that's fixed onto the card front. And then instead of putting the sentiment in the middle and having the wreath in the middle, I put the wreath to one side, pushed it over to the left. And then I added my sentiment. So I used the hello there from the Nature's Print stamp set. So I stamped that in Starry Sky. And then just added the little Gray Granite twigs and things underneath. And put the label to the right, and then added some rhinestones. And again, I used just glue dots to fix them underneath here, and this is fixed on with some dimensionals. And then this time I actually used the paper to go on the inside. So that was the second card. Third card, I was starting to get a bit brave. So first of all, I used a different stamp on the envelope. So this is that rather lovely frond. So that's stamped in Gray Granite. And then on the inside, I went a little bit mad. So rather than using the Starry Sky and the paper on the front, I actually put them on the inside. And you can still write on this, so it's light enough for you to be able to do that. If I was just putting the Starry Sky in there, I think I might end up putting a piece of white on top. But I like this. It's just something slightly different. Now I've turned the card portrait rather than landscape. It's entirely up to you. I know a lot of people don't like top folds because cards can sometimes spread, so I'm running a bit of a risk with this one. But I didn't want to cut more, plus the fact people who have the kits can't just simply swap the cardstock out, so I've just gone with it. Anyway, so I've stamped the fronds in the Gray Granite all over the piece of basic white. You'll find that some of these, the actual, they meet in the middle here, and the label covers that, so I'm not too worried about that. Important to remember to stamp off the edge like these, just so that it anchors everything. I mean, of course, if you just want to do a central one, that's fine, but the whole idea was to cover the paper, or the cardstock, I should say. So that's what I did. Now the frond here, and that's what this bit is 1/2. So I very bravely got my scissors out and I cut it. I didn't want a whole wreath on there, so I thought, okay, well, I know what I'm going to cut it, so, and just have a sort of piece coming down. Could have put this other one on, but I kind of thought maybe that was a bit too much. So that's what I did with that. And then I didn't go too mad with all the little bits of frond, so these are bits, other pieces that I had a minute ago, are bits that are left over. And then again, stamped. The thank you comes from Peaceful Moments again. And then just added some rhinestones. So that was my third card, a little bit different because I've used the paper on the inside rather than on the outside. But hey, that's a little bit of variety is good. So I'm guessing you might want to see what I'm going to do with the fourth card. And I'd quite like to know what I'm going to do with the fourth card. So let's go for it. And I'm going to go back to having the Starry Sky on the front. But what I am going to do is I think I'm going to make another portrait card rather than landscape. And what I'm going to do, trying to decide whether or not to just simply, I think that, you see, you will not see that too well. You can kind of see it, but not that brilliantly. So I'm going to cut. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Or could even just use that piece here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use that way, like that. And then the inside piece I'm going to put here. I'm going to use my label. Now, the wreath. What are we going to do with the wreath? I'm not sure. I don't want to do that. So what I'm actually going to do, instead of cutting it into halves, I'm actually going to cut it into much smaller pieces. And it's just a case of choosing your moment and where you want to cut it. So I'm going to put that one here. Now I have one of these long ones too. So we'll just tuck these in for the time being, and a little one. And then I'm going to cut another piece. Let's see. I'm going to cut that one here. And you just sort of use your scissors to create the leaf or whatever it is that you want. Actually, I don't even know if I do need that. I'm going to cut that like that. And do another bit. Oh, that's got a bit of a weird piece here, so I need to take that off. So those are the sort of things you need to look out for, because sometimes you have to cut it in a couple of places, and you concentrate so much on one bit that you forget about the other. So I'm going to do that bit, and that's the rest of it here. Let's take that bit off there. And actually I'm going to take those two bits off because I don't really want them because they're looking a bit odd. So I'll have that bit, and I'm going to cut that here I think. And the thing you can remember is that you know what, I'm going to take it there. Right, let's try again. So maybe I'll go this way, seeing as I've now taken that piece off. And you're not going to see these ends here, so don't fret it. Let's see, let's put that on like that, and then a shorter piece. And then we're going to have this piece coming down here with the other long piece. And that short piece, which I didn't like. So let's just stick it like that for the time being and just see what happens. So that works. Okay, so I'm not going to go mad with the glue. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my glue dots. So I think that would just be a lot easier and a lot quicker than trying to get lots of little dots of glue in various places. They're not like they're having to hold other things, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that one. Oops, she says I've actually got it and it's stuck to my finger. I'm going to put that on here like that. And then it's got a bit of a weird piece on there. I'm going to put this one on. I'm going to have it going that way. So the trick with these is rather than trying to pick these off and stick them on the back, or stick them on your fingernail, just what's happened there. Normally I would take whatever I want to stick on to the glue dot and do it that way. So pick up the glue dot with the item that you're actually going to be sticking on. That's those. Let's see now. Let's just double check that. So that's fine. You're not going to see those pieces. And I had that one on the bottom. So again, I'm just going to pick it up, that glue dot up, put it on. Have this on here. That's that. And then have that. Yeah, I think I have it going that way, so it actually goes into the corner rather than like that. So that will be on there. So that will cover up all those pieces because I'll be using some dimensionals. And then we need to stamp our sentiment. So I am going to use the, let's see, because sometimes you will need to make sure that it's going to fit. I know the hello there will fit. Heartfelt thanks. Oh, thank you. See, that's just pushing it a little bit. So I'm just going to stick to the hello there. I think that will be the easiest option. Let's see. I did grab some blocks, but I didn't grab a small one, so I'm going to have to risk it with this. And we can go Starry Sky or we can go Gray Granite. And I think I'm going to stick with Starry Sky. The nice thing about the label, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's actually got like a little edge to it. So it's a nice effect. So this is the label, the die that goes with the stamp set. I think I've got a very wet. No, it would have stamped okay, but hey, let's not risk it. I just need my stamp cleaner. Just grab one quickly. Give it a good clean. So this is the Simply Chamois, which for classes and things, I basically cut it in half and put it into a small. these are the old cases that sadly they don't do them anymore, but they're good to keep things in. I'm just going to very carefully this time. So I'll stamp on here. Put the hello there and that. Let's just go for it, I think. Ah, there we go. I know, I always sound surprised if it comes out fine. It's not that I doubt myself or my abilities, she says. But there you go. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on this. Now, if you find that you're having a bit of an issue with things layering on here and it's sticking up, sometimes you need to put like an extra layer on just to make it a little bit taller. But I don't think I'm going to have that issue here, so that's all right. I'm just going to add that on. Put that, I think, about there. Now I can see a little bit of a glue dot sticking out. So if you take your pick tool or a pair of scissors, you can just very carefully stick it back under so you can't see it. So that's that. Now if I wanted, I could add some extra. So I do have these extra little ones here that I could put in if I wanted to bring some more colour or different shades in, or if I wanted to fill a little gap. Like if I didn't like this piece here, I could just simply put another one in. And again, just use a glue dot to do that. You just need to be careful that it doesn't stick to the label. So you can just kind of ease it in like that. You know what, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to risk it with that one. Plus the fact I've now got 7, so that's an uneven number, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. I might use that actually for my envelope. So I'm going to glue this. So I'm just going to quickly put some glue on the back. I had an all-day team event here yesterday, so I'm pretty much tidied away, so that's good. But I'm just sort of running out of my glue and everything. There we go, so that can go on there like that. And again, I could just simply glue that on or add it with dimensionals. Just for today, I'm going to put this on with glue. Like so. Try and get an even border around it, like that. So that's that, and then that just leaves me the inside to do and the envelope. So my envelope, and where's the piece of white? Ah, here we go. So I've got my piece of white, I've got my envelope, and I've got my piece of designer series paper. So I could put that on there. It's not quite long enough to go along the bottom, so I could just simply put it down the edge, quite like the blue on the envelope. It sort of stands out quite a bit. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly put some glue on that, stick that on the envelope. Trying to figure out which way round. I don't think it really matters because the pattern is quite random. And I put those on like that. Just trim it off quickly. Like so. Okay. And then I've got to do the actual card on the inside. So So what I have used already is I've used the splodges in the flower, and I've used the big, I want to say ginkgo, but it's not, I'm not quite sure. It's a very delicate looking leaf. I think I'm just going to use that one. There we go. And I'm going to go for some Starry Sky. Now I don't want all of the stem, so I'm just going to take that slightly off the page, piece of cardstock. So I wasn't too worried about that blotchy bit at the bottom. So that's going to go on the inside of my card. I'm just going to move that block away so I don't end up resting something on it. News to tell you this week. Well, we're halfway through June. Time flies. So that means you've got a couple of weeks left of the January to June catalogue. So the retirement list that is out, things are going. So if there are items on there, especially those that have discounts, then you might want to take a look sooner rather than later and get that order in. If kits are your thing, or if you have friends that you'd like to introduce to crafting, then kits are a really, really good way of doing it. So they're available this month with a buy one get one 50% off. So so that's a good deal. And there are all sorts of kits there. There's cards, there's decor. So don't forget about that. My classes are now up for the rest of the year. So if you go to oakfieldcrafts.com, you will find them there. Booking closed the other day for the June class, but I do have classes for July and August up that can be booked now. September there's an online class, but July, August have in person. October there will be a Christmas stamp stack. But anyway, so I do need to add some rhinestones. So I just need to find some quickly. Get those on there. She says it's trying to find. Or maybe I'll put something slightly different. Maybe I'll put some of them on. So these are a new gem. They're called the solid faceted gems. So I think I'll finish this off with them, and I'm going to go for the dark blue. I think that will look nice. I don't think the green or the pink would be suitable. So I'm just going to use my take your pick tool, which is good because you can just slide these things off. Makes it a lot easier. There we go. So there we go. So that is my finished fourth card. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. Whoops, just dropped everything. So this will now be going, because this is Sunday at the moment, on Wednesday to those who are actually going to Card A Cuppa. But this, and then you will be seeing this posted on Wednesday afternoon. So those are the 4 cards. Let's see if I can actually get them all in shot. Let's try that one, and then these. I can just about get them in. So those are the 4 cards. I hope you've enjoyed seeing those, and I will be back next week with Stampin' and Creating at 2:30 on Wednesday. And in the meantime, if you've got any questions, then just drop me a line. You can email me at fiona@oakfieldcrafts.com, or if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, then you can leave a comment. comment even. Okay, well, take care and thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.